Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You're in a courtroom. Whatever you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on the Zoom screen, your Zoom privileges will be revoked and you will be required to appear in the courtroom. It doesn't matter if you're out of county, out of state, out of the country, you will be required to appear. All right, to all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. You're not allowed to use the internet. You're not allowed to use Facebook. If you violate any of these rules, you will be sent back to your cell. They're shorthanded, so we'll probably see you in 30 to 60 days. To everyone, this is not the Bachelor. Thank you. This is not the Bachelorette. You are not allowed to use this Zoom screen in order to pick up dates. To all attorneys, please do not text, chat, email, instant message, call Ms. Ferguson asking for a reset. I'm the only person who can give you the reset or a continuance. If you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think the plea bargain agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. If your client is on bond, the state and the court coordinator will need your client's email address. For all of the defendants who are at your home or at work, if you're at work, you need to find a stationary place. You need to tell your employer you need to take a break because you are not allowed to work while you're in court on this Zoom screen. If you're at your home, there is to be no cooking, no doing of laundry, no laying in bed. I know you probably asked yourself, why is she telling us this? Surely we know this. I tell you this because it's been done before. If you do that, and again, if you do anything on this Zoom screen that you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, that includes smoking cigarettes, cigars or pipes or whatever, you will be required to appear in person in the 187 District Court at 300 De La Rosa. It's Tuesday. Let's keep it a happy Tuesday. Let's not turn it into a Monday. If you behave inappropriately, your Tuesday is going to become a Monday because you're going to have to get an Uber or a Lyft or a Via, find change for the Via. If you drive downtown, you're going to find that there are a lot of one-ways, a lot of construction, a lot of closed roads. And then once you make it downtown, you're going to find that parking, if you can find it, is very expensive. To all of the people at the jail, you are not allowed to tell the deputy that you're done for the day. You're not done until I tell you that you are done and I excuse you. So don't leave a breakout room. Don't leave this Zoom until I personally excuse you and tell you you are excused. To all the defendants, you're going to hear their names of your attorneys, not your name. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it's because your attorney is either Zooming in another courtroom or they had to appear in person in another courtroom. Just be patient. They will Zoom in to speak to you. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all the defense attorneys, treat those breakout rooms as though you're going to see the doctor. When they call you to the back, you're not seeing the doctor right away. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. The prosecutors have the abilities to move throughout the breakout rooms. Attorneys, this is the order in which you'll appear. Ron Zimmerman, Roy Barrera, Andrew Froelich, Michael Latimer, Joe Stenberg, Kelly McGinnis, and Javier Padilla. Is there any other attorney's name that I have missed? All right, attorneys, if you have the ability, thank you, Andrew Froelich. I see you've already done it. If you have the ability to add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence, that will be helpful. If you don't have the ability to do that, I will do that. And to defendants, your attorney's going to want to speak to someone from the state before they speak to you, so be patient. All right, Ron Zimmerman, can I have your client's name and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence?
His name is Michael Hernandez, and this is criminal trial division, Judge.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
All right, thank you, Judge. And
You're
may I
welcome.
meet you in the breakout room, please? Thank you.
Yes. Roy Barrera, you're on mute.
Good morning, Judge. Robert Sean Rivas, and that's trial.
I'll send you to number 4. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrew Froelich, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 5.
Thank you, Honor.
Michael Latimer,
Yes, good morning. Criminal Trial Division trial setting.
what is your client's name?
Leo Hernandez.
I'll send you to number 6. Joe Stenberg, who do you have? And you're on mute.
Howdy, I have Manuel Gutierrez for sentencing, and I have not yet seen the pre-sentence report. Could I see that, please?
Yes, can you put your email address in the chat box to
It
the
was
Officer
emailed.
Reyes?
It was emailed to him yesterday.
All right, you should have it in your box.
Thank you.
Attorney Joe, right?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Manuel Gutierrez, is he in custody or on bond? He's in the courtroom. Do you need to speak with him? Mr. Steinberg, did you need to speak with your client?
Yes, I do. I'm going back to get that report, and then if you put me in a breakout room with him, or he and I can talk by phone.
Oh, that's okay. I'll send you number 7. Courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 7, please.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Kelly McGinnis, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 8.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
Javier Padilla. Javier Padilla. All right, is there any other attorney remaining?
Judge, good morning. Attorney Armando Martinez.
Okay. Who do you have on our docket?
Judge, I have Freddy's Cabrera. I was at another Zoom meeting in Hays County, Judge, in Comal County. I apologize.
Oh, no, we're here from 9 to 5. We take our break at 12:30. So you are right on time.
No problem, Judge. I am still working on this case, Judge, and I'd like to have one brief continuance for preparation, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, everyone. Sorry about that short break. Doug Campbell, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 9. Thank you so much for changing your name.
Thanks, Judge.
Richard Langlois, who do you have?
I have Brandy Lehman, Your Honor. It's a sentencing. However, she is at home quarantined with COVID-19.
All right, she's going to need to provide documentation of that. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Ms. Ferguson will speak to you in number 1.
I sent it to Ms. Ferguson already.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Kelly McGinnis, you're back.
I am, Judge. I've conferred with Joe. I have an affidavit to send him. Mr. Lavalace does have 2 unindicted aggravated robberies. I'm going to try to get in touch with Mike Cohen regarding those cases. So I don't know that there's anything that can really be done today, but we have conferred.
All right, just one moment.
Okay.
As soon as the court coordinator comes back, well, I tell you what, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. If you'll go to breakout room number 1 and ask the court coordinator for a 30-day reset, please, and come back and give me that date.
Okay.
Roy Barrera, you're on mute.
Thank you, Judge. I've conferred with the DA, and although discovery is not complete, nonetheless, an offer has been made. I'm going to discuss that with my client, and if we could have just a short recess or a short reset, we may have this matter resolved, Judge.
All right, is 2 weeks enough time for you?
I think so.
All right, if you'll go to breakout room number 1 and let Ms. Ferguson know you need a 2-week reset, and if you can come back and give me that date, please.
Sure.
Andrew Froelich.
Judge, we have a very reasonable offer from the state on Ms. Garza's case. Unfortunately, Ms. Garza is not here to take it. So I would maybe ask, maybe she made it to the courtroom this morning and just lost my phone number.
She's not in the courtroom. I give everyone till 10:30. If you want to see if you can get in touch with Ms. Garza.
Sorry, I've taken a number of steps to reach Ms. Garza, Your Honor.
All right, then you wish to proceed without her being here for me to take this on the record? Or
Yes,
do you want to wait till 10:30?
no, let's do it now.
Okay. Is there a prosecutor available?
I was talking to Tom.
Sure.
All right, Brenda, we're going to go on the record. And of course, Brenna, today is the day it doesn't work, right? Nope, not gonna work. All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 7769, State of Texas versus Margaret Garza. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Drew Freilich.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:42 a.m. There has not been a Margaret Garza on the Zoom screen to the courtroom. Has there been a Margaret Thelma Garza in the courtroom?
Your Honor.
Judge, if I could, she also goes by Margaret De La Cruz. Can we also call that name as well, just in case?
All right. And is there Margaret De La Cruz on the Zoom screen?
No, Judge, she's not.
All right. And to the courtroom, has there been a Margaret De La Cruz in the courtroom?
No, Judge.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
When she hired me, yes, Judge, I have not had any contact with her in the last 60 days.
Date?
Judge, we asked for a bond forfeiture and a warrant be issued.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If you're able to make contact with your client and your client presents herself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Ms. McGinnis, on Dimitri Lavallee.
Yes, Judge. She gave me the date of November 2nd.
Why are people, it's okay to people set things on my birthday, Brenna. That's okay. I celebrate the entire month. All right, Mr. Lavallee. can you unmute, please, and wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lavallee. We're going to bring you back on November 2nd. My understanding is there are some other cases that are outstanding. So hopefully the state and your attorney will have all the information on those cases by then. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss McGinnis, do you need to speak with Mr. Lavallee?
Yes, I do, Judge, please.
All right, Ms. McGinnis, when you finish speaking with Mr. Lavallee, if you'll bring him back to the main room, we have to excuse him from here.
Yes, okay.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2. Mr. Lavallee, if you can go to 2, please. All right, Doug Campbell.
Judge, can I speak with my client in the breakout room, please?
Where is your client? Morpheus
He's
Garcia.
Morph Garcia, I think.
Oh, that's Morpheus, like from The Matrix.
Yes.
Was he born before or after The Matrix?
I'm not sure when The Matrix came out. We've been watching it out at the land, but don't know.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 8. And if Morpheus could go to number 8, please.
Thanks.
Roy Barrera on Rivas.
Yes, thank you, Judge. The date I have is October the 26th at 9 o'clock.
Okay, did you tell her 2 weeks?
I did. And that 1 week I'm not here, and the next week you're not here.
That's true.
So that leaves us with the very next week, which is the 25th. But I did tell her 2 weeks. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you said the 26th, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and if you decide to come in before the 26th, just let us know.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, you and your client are excused.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Richard Langlois. You're on mute. Mr. Langlois, what date did Ms. Ferguson give you?
The 25th of October.
All right, see you on the 25th of October. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. My dog says hello.
Ah, tell him I said hi.
Okay.
I don't see him in the background anymore. Michael Latimer.
Yes, Your Honor, I've conferred with Meredith and Hunter, and they want us to recall Friday.
Okay.
And I told them that I'm expecting to pick a jury in the 226th Friday. I'm one of 4 cases. But if my case doesn't go, then I will certainly get to your court.
What are we doing on Friday?
Judge, in the meantime, we are trying to bring the officer in to discuss some questions with him about the case. We feel after meeting with him, we can make a decision as far as the plea offer goes. We had it scheduled previously, but life intervened.
Okay, life, doggone life. All right, we will recall you back on October 1st, Mr. Latimer, and I'll note on the docketing sheet that you may be in jury trial.
It's okay. Thank you. See you Friday.
All right, thank you. All right, Kelly McGinnis.
Judge, we conferred. I thought that he was coming back in here, but maybe he doesn't know how. So I can.
Okay. Did you go to number 1 and let
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson know that Lavallee is excused and he's in L4?
Okay, so just he can leave from there, Judge?
Yes, but tell her he's L4, Lavallee.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. To the clerks, I'm missing a file. I'm missing 2021 CR 2972.
Yes, Judge.
Doug Campbell. Norma Lavallee needs to go back. He's L4. All right, Doug Campbell.
Sorry, Judge, I think you were talking to me as I was going back to the other room.
Oh, no problem.
I've spoken with the state, I've spoken with my client, and we are going to enter a plea with an application for deferred.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you need to be in the, I guess you can remain in the breakout room with your client as you receive paperwork?
Perfect, thanks.
You're welcome. Joe Stenberg, you back?
Yes, ma'am. We're ready for sentencing on Manuel Gutierrez.
And Judge, is it possible for you, me, and Joe to go into a breakout room before we do that sentencing?
Yes, I'll send us to breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
Brent, you can see, Brent, I'm trying not to get too excited. It's working, the computer is working. All right, to the courtroom. If you could have Mr. Manuel Gutierrez come forward, please. Just give me 1 second. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2540, State of Texas versus Manuel Gutierrez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Howdy, Joe Stenberg representing Manuel Gutierrez.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
And the court will note for the record that on August 12th, 2021, the defendant entered a plea by video. And so, Mr. Manuel Gutierrez, do you have any objections to this taking place by video?
Okay.
All right. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state waived count 1 without objection. They proceeded on count 2, which is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, and an amount less than 400 grams. My understanding is there's a request to amend the plea bargain agreement. Is that correct, state and defense?
Yes, Judge.
I don't know if they actually.
Defense, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the amendment is that the state recommends deferred adjudication. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge, after reviewing the PSI, we believe that is the appropriate offer in this case.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Stenberg?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, I know that I explained to you when you entered your plea about accepting or being given deferred, but just so we're clear and the record is clear, I'm going to explain it to you again. Do you understand if the court were to follow your new agreement with the state of deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you anywhere from 10 years to 99 years or life in the prison and up to up to $100,000 fine. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, knowing that, do you still wish to go forward with this plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The state is in agreement to your client having deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Stenberg?
Yes, he's a phlebotomist. He has not had any alcohol since he was 21 years of age, and he's now 46. So I see no need for any type of drug intervention or alcohol intervention. He also does not take drugs. Basically what it amounts to, he's a hardworking fellow with 4 children. He was caught in a financial bind when he did what he did. It's a one-time incident. He has really learned from this incident. And all I can say is he's a good man. And I really recommend that all those things I said about the ADA emeritus should be retracted.
Oh my gosh. So everyone knows Joe Stenberg always does the country Andy Griffith. But we appreciate you, Joe. All right. Mr. Gutierrez, are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
How long have you been working?
I just started with this new company. It's called Greenleaf Diagnostic. I'm a mobile phlebotomist. I go withdraw blood from nursery homes. I work from 12 midnight to like 8 o'clock at night in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning. So I drive to Bernie, Kerrville, Cotulla, everywhere in San Antonio.
All right, so the only thing you're doing, because you know when people are on probation, well, maybe you don't know, out of the 187th District Court, when people are on probation, I don't allow them to be home health care providers or supervised minors. So your job is to go to these different homes and you're just drawing blood. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
All right, and do you actually go inside the facilities?
I sure do.
All right, is there anyone with you when you go inside the facilities?
No, it's just me by myself. Well, there's nurses in there, but it's me by myself.
Oh, so the nurses are there when you're drawing the blood?
Yes, yes.
Okay. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, you know I'm going to require a drug test today. You understand?
That's all right with me, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What the court is going to do is the court is going to sentence you to a $2,500 fine. That will be probated. 10 years deferred adjudication. Restitution to SAPD. And let me see if we have an amount.
$60.
Oh, that's the $60 is what's in the.
It's in the report.
Okay.
For drug testing.
Okay. Which page is that on, sir?
I'm sorry, you broke out.
Oh, I'm sorry, which page is that on?
Oh,
I see it. I found it, Mr. Steinberg.
right.
So there's restitution to SAPD of $60 for drug testing. Proof of employment
Mhm.
within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. So Rebecca, I don't consider him going in to draw blood as being employed as a home health care provider. There's to be regular Zoom reporting. If you're not able to report by Zoom, then you will have to report in person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be a UA today.
Yes, ma'am.
By 1:30 p.m. If positive, then it will be intensive outpatient treatment with probation. If negative, then regular UAs, or you can do the patch. Probation will explain to you the benefits of the patch.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month, random.
Yes, ma'am.
$140 hours of community service restitution. The court will deduct 40 of those hours if you provide proof that you completed the COVID vaccine. I'm not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccine. That's completely up to you. But if you do obtain the COVID vaccine and provide proof to probation, that will deduct 40 hours of your community service restitution. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Gutierrez, is there anything else that you need from this court in order to be successful in this deferred adjudication?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez.
I do have one question.
Yes.
You said if he gets the COVID, what if he already has the COVID vaccination?
Oh, he just turned in proof to probation.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Gutierrez,
Yes, ma'am.
communication with probation is key to being successful. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From here on out, every decision that you make, your first question that you should ask yourself, is this something that could result in me potentially going to prison from anywhere from 10 to 99 years of life? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when something comes up and you think, I'm not going to report to probation, I'll do it later, the first thing that should pop in your mind is, could this result in me having a motion to revoke file and potentially going to prison anywhere from 10 to 99 years of life? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you provide, I'm sorry, what?
I won't make that mistake, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Make sure you provide the UA to probation today. And congratulations, I read the report. Congratulations on your daughter's graduation.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Mr. Stenberg, you can go to breakout room number 1. And probation will meet you all in number 1 to go over conditions.
Thank you. And thank you, Meredith.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. DeWiggins.
Yes, Judge, I can't find
Oh, you just muted yourself again. Who do you have?
Regina Martinez.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
I lost track. I think it's criminal trial. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. Prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
All right, Armando Martinez.
Yes, Judge, I previously had gone to breakout 9, Judge, but I wasn't able to see anybody there, Judge. I had to go to another court in Hayes County, but I'm back.
All right, what is your client's name?
My client is Mr. Freddy's Cabrera.
All right, put some patience in your pocket, Armando. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Yes, Judge. No problem at all, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ron Zimmerman.
Yes, Judge. Could I speak to Mr. Morris, please?
All right, I'll send you to number 6, and Hunter will meet you in 6.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Hunter, I sent you to breakout room number 6. Mr. Zimmerman would like to speak to you again.
I just talked to him, Judge. You mind hopping in there with us?
Yes, I will hop right in.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And let me just change this name. All right, Edward Garza, if you go to breakout room number 7, a prosecutor will meet you there. You're welcome.
Meredith?
Yes, do you need to speak with Meredith?
Yes, I just, oh, yeah, we have a deal.
Okay, I will put that in the chat to Norma and start the paperwork. I need a
And she's,
client though, so you're gonna have to check.
what?
I need a good email for your client.
She's at the lockdown wing of the University
Oh.
Hospital. So she is in jail at the hospital. So whatever,
Okay.
I don't know how that works. She must be on a jail iPad, but at the hospital.
Your Honor,
Meredith, if you would like to, do you want to go to the breakout room with Mr. DeWiggins on his client to see what her email address is?
yeah, let's do that because it wasn't clear to me where she was because I thought she was in custody, but.
Judge, if you give me a moment, I can call the jail and find that out.
Oh, thanks,
All
Norma.
right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Carrillo? Who do you have with us?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Anthony Don Baker.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 9 and a prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Hi, Mr. Steinberg.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
I hope so. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It will be great.
Judge Boyd, may I approach?
Yes.
Ed Garza. Judge,
Hi.
oh, how are you? I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, no problem. I didn't know you were in the courtroom.
Well, I had to do a sentencing with Judge Skinner, and I had reported earlier to the clerks that I would be running late. I don't know whether you got the message or not, but
Oh,
anyway.
you're on time because we're here from 9 till 12:30. So you're on time.
On Eric Mahamuth, who I have this morning, I have not had any contact with him. I tried contacting him all day yesterday. I even called the bonding company. I'm not sure if they were able to get a hold of him either to inform him of today's hearing. And from what I understand, he is not logged on or shown up.
No, he hasn't. Okay. If you want to come back at 10:30, you can. It's almost 10:30. I give everyone till 10:30. Or if you want to go forward, we can.
Can we go forward then, Judge?
Yes. Is there a prosecutor available?
I'm here, Judge Cherry.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2021 CR 7775, State of Texas versus Eric Mamuth, Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the
Ed
defense?
Ed Garza, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:24 a.m. The defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen. To the deputy in the courtroom has a Eric Mahamuth appeared in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I have not, Your Honor.
State?
The state requests a bond forfeiture and a warrant be issued.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. But Mr. Garza, if you're able to get in touch with your client, he presents himself, the court will reconsider.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Garza, we'll close the record. Mr. Garza, could I see you in court chambers, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And everyone, just give me a moment. All right, Armando, you're back.
Yes, Judge, I am. I've had an opportunity to discuss the case with the prosecutor, Judge.
Mhm.
We are working on tentative plea agreements on the case, and I would ask for a brief continuance, Judge.
All right. Norma, well, where's your client, Mr. Cabrera?
I just met with him. He probably still in the breakout room, Judge.
Okay. Can you
But he
go
is-
to
he is
the,
present.
I see where he's in the breakout room. Could you go to the breakout room and have him leave the breakout room so I can give him his reset date?
Yes, Judge, I'm gonna head back.
And Norma, can we place Cabrera on October 26th as well?
Yes, ma'am.
He's saying that it will probably be an agreement.
October 26th.
I just put it on the same date as Roy Barrera's client's case.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then
Do you see him now, Judge?
yes, just give me one moment because I can't see my screen because I'm signing documents. Just one second.
No problem, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Fredis Cabrera. Could you unmute yourself and show your video, please? Yes. All right, we're going to come back on your case on October 26th. That will be by Zoom. If for some reason you're not able to Zoom, you'll need to appear in person. Do you understand?
Judge, he's a Spanish speaker, but I'd be happy to interpret for him.
Yes, if
allow
you could interpret, and I'll note on his file that it's Spanish
Yes.
speaker.
Señor Fredis, octubre 26 regresamos a su corte. Va a ser vía el sistema Zoom, pero si por alguna manera no tiene acceso a Zoom, tendría que estar en la corte. ¿Está bien?
Ok. El que,
He said okay, Judge.
¿me puede repetir la fecha?
Octubre 26. He asked me to repeat the date, Judge.
Sure, no
October the
problem.
26th. He's got it.
And Mr. Martinez, are there immigration issues on this case or no?
Potentially, there are some immigration issues, Judge, that I'm going to be trying to resolve, Judge.
Then with the immigration issues, is October 26th a long enough time for you?
It is, Judge. At this point in time, Judge, we're negotiating the plea. Once we have the terms of the plea, I'll try to structure it in such a way that it will have a negative, the least negative impact.
Is Kelly Green in by any chance?
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I will try to negotiate a plea that will have the least impact on his status, Judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Then you and your client are excused.
Thank you. Señor Freddy, se puede ir. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And then Mr. Campbell on Morpheus, I haven't received the plea paperwork, so I'm just waiting on that. I've received the consent and I've received trial court certification.
It's been completed, but I'll ask my client to just double check. to see
Okay,
if
it may be in his box. And
I think
Mr.
it's with the
Zimmerman, do
clerks.
you need, I'm sorry?
I believe it's with the clerks. It shows that the defendant signed it.
Okay. And Mr. Zimmerman, we're just waiting to get paperwork from you. If you will give me one moment. And Ms. Patterson, if I could see you in breakout room number 1, please. And everyone just give me one moment. All right, the felony packet has just come in on Morpheus Garcia, so the court is signing that. And I'm going to send your client to a breakout room to be sworn in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll send your client to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Campbell, if you could go to number 2 as well. And to the clerks, if you could go to 2.
Thank you, Judge.
James DeWiggins, have we figured out your client's email address?
Norma had said she was calling the jail and I,
Yes, Judge, we're going to be using the jail iPad unless told otherwise.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. DeWiggins, if you'll go back to breakout room number 4, paperwork should be coming to you shortly.
thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Mr. Zimmerman, has paperwork been given to you?
Yes, it has, Judge. I filled it out and signed it. And if I could go to a breakout room with my client to go over the paperwork.
All right, if you could go back to breakout room number 3, please.
Okay. All right. I will go to breakout room number 3. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Barbara, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1, and I'll meet you there shortly. And Kelly Green, you're here for Roberto Villarreal.
Correct, Your Honor. And the last time he had a setting was in May. He was a FTA, a warrant was issued, and he was picked up 10 days ago.
He's at the Bexar County Jail. I'll send
Yeah,
you
10
to
days.
breakout
Yeah.
room number 5. A prosecutor will meet you there.
I already have an offer, so I just need to confer with my client.
All right, Mr. Villarreal, if you go to breakout room number 5, please. And
Thank you.
everyone, I'm going to go to breakout room number 1. I will be right back. All right, Mr. Zimmerman. Have you sent in all your paperwork?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, to the clerks, do you have the paperwork on Mr. Zimmerman's client, Michael Hernandez? Thank you. All right, and then,
Judge,
yes,
Chris Newman was helping me get the plea bargain page on Adobe Sign.
okay.
Mr. Zimmerman, have you gotten that?
Not that I'm aware of. Yes,
Okay.
I remember a judge asking for that. So let me check my desktop. I'm on my laptop and that stuff goes to my desktop. Strange, but true. Anyway, let me check my desktop and see if it's there, and I'll review it and sign where applicable.
All right, thank you.
All right, and who is the party on Morpheus? The prosecutor.
Joe Ray.
Joe Ray. Joe Ray.
Okay, thank you. And then Morpheus Garcia, I need you to unmute and I need you to show your video. All right, and Mr. Morpheus Garcia, are you stationary?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and your name is not from the Matrix, right?
No, ma'am.
So you were named before anyone even knew of a Morpheus.
Yes, ma'am. I was born before the movie.
All right,
Judge, no.
Yes.
He has a great explanation, and I think Morpheus, people knew about Morpheus before because it's from Greek mythology.
Well, I mean, I understand the Greek mythology part of it, but some people just watch the movie and they're like, I'm naming my child Morpheus.
I was going to object to the phrasing of the question.
Okay. The court is calling 2021 CR 7893, State of Texas versus Morpheus Garcia. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Doug Campbell for Morpheus Garcia. I'm ready.
All right. And are you Morpheus Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to show you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand you're charged with assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? the court can find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
We've discussed it, Judge. No.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. No contact with Stephanie, Stefanie Torres. No contact with the residents at 9450 Witten, Witten Drive, San Antonio, Texas 78254, and $100 to an approved family violence center. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be 120 hours of community service restitution and the BIPP course. Did you understand that those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Judge.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Not guilty.
Oh, Mr. Garcia, my understanding by receiving the plea paperwork is that you're entering into a plea bargain agreement. Is that correct or no?
Yes, my apologies, Judge. I'm sorry.
All right. So I'm going to ask the question again. And if your plea remains the same, that is fine with the court. Of course, it will not be held against you. But I'm asking, how do you plead to the offense that's alleged in the indictment? You can either plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
I believe it's no contest, Judge.
All right, Mr. Campbell, is that correct? Your client is pleading no contest?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garcia, have you had sufficient time to discuss the plea bargain agreement with your attorney and your case with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you wish to proceed with this plea agreement?
Yes, Judge.
And your plea is no contest, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers State Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
Any objections?
No.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client has expressed that he is deeply apologetic about his behavior back in June that led to the court having to get involved in his life, and he'd like to move on and try to be a better person.
All right, Mr. Garcia, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I am a landscape contractor or self-employed.
Okay, when's the last time you had contact with Stephanie Torres?
That would be the day of the incident, ma'am.
All right, do you all have any children together?
No, ma'am.
All right, the relationship is over. She no longer wants to be in a relationship with you. You are not to have any contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so this is the court's ruling. There's a $1,500 fine, probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. The BIPP course, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 hours will be deducted if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccine. For the record, the court is not forcing anyone to get the vaccine, but if you've had it or if you're going to take it and you provide proof of the completion of that vaccine to probation, then the court will deduct 40 hours of community service restitution. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Judge.
Knowing this, do you still wish for the court to continue with your plea agreement and follow the plea bargain agreement that has been reached?
Yes, Judge.
All right, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Stephanie Torres or 9450 Witten Drive, San Antonio, Texas, 78254. $100 to an approved family violence center. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Pass.
When's the last time you had any drugs?
A
That
few
includes I know people think of marijuana as not a drug, but that includes marijuana.
It would be a few years, Judge.
Mhm. There's going to be regular Zoom reporting. If for some reason you can't report by Zoom, then you will need to report in person. I'm going to want field visits, random, 1 time per month. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider or any employment involving minors. Regular UAs. Rebecca, is there anything else that Mr. Garcia needs?
No, ma'am.
Was there any restitution that was due? I read in the report that there was a broken lamp and broken bottles.
Judge, just 1 second. I'll check. I don't think there's any recorded when we spoke to her, but let me make sure.
All right, thank you.
We never got an amount for what was broken, Judge.
Okay. All right. Mr. Garcia, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
And because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Garcia, from here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me potentially going to prison for up to 10 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Morpheus, since your attorney told me you're named after the Greek god Morpheus, you need to live up to the name. You understand?
Understood.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will meet you in number 1 and go over conditions. And then
Okay.
after that, you are excused. And Mr. Campbell, you can go to breakout room number 1, or you can be excused as well.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Kelly Green, what is happening with your client?
All right, Your Honor, I got a chance to confer with my client, relayed the state's offer. He wanted me to counter offer. Can I confer with the state quickly, please?
All right, I will send you to breakout room number 2. And what is your
Thank you.
client's name?
It's Roberto Villarreal.
Okay.
He's in
I'll-
custody. He's in
All right,
custody.
I'll send you to number 2. If a prosecutor could confer with Kelly Green, please. It's criminal trial division. James Myrick.
Judge, do we know if Mr. Zimmerman received that plea bargain page?
Ron Zimmerman, have you received the plea bargain page?
Oh, not to the Bear County Jail.
Yes, I have, Judge, and it sent me and told me that I needed to download Adobe Acrobat Reader. I don't know why. I thought I'd already had that in my files.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm in the process of getting that installed, I guess. And it looks like it's just about ready to, looks like it is ready. So I am in the process of trying to get that signed.
Okay.
I've done multiple pleas. I don't know why it's doing this, but I'll work through it, Judge, and we'll get her done.
Sure. All right, Mr. Myrick, your client, April Donato, is not here. Is she on bond or is she in custody? Because it shows that she's on bond.
Yeah, she's on bond, and as I said, she's called me. Well, actually, she's reached out to my office last week. Then she said, "Oh, I'm going to come by my office so she could look at discovery." She never came by my office to look at the discovery that she wanted to look at with me.
Okay, just one moment.
And I don't know. She hasn't called this morning.
All right, we're going to go on record. Court is calling 2021 CR 0386, State of Texas versus April Marie Donato. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
James Merritt, attorney court appointed for April Donato.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objections, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
None, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:19 a.m. To the courtroom, has there been an April Donato in the courtroom at all today?
No, Judge, she is not.
All right. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Today, no. Our last contact was the 20th of September. And again, the 21st of September. And then we got a failed report from Officer Daniels from pretrial. And then that was the last time we've heard about her. So not to, but no contact this morning, despite our best efforts.
All right, and the court will note for the record that the defendant has not been on a Zoom screen. State?
They would ask this court to forfeit the defendant's bond and issue a warrant.
That'll be granted, and the defendant will be remanded without bond. If you make contact with your client and your client presents herself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you.
Judge, I put something in the chat for you.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, it's Kelly Green again. I haven't been transferred to a breakout room with prosecutors.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
All right, thank you.
James DeWiggins?
Judge, can Norma join me in breakout room 4? Apparently the firewall at the hospital doesn't allow them to sign on the computer pad for some reason.
Okay,
And
I just sent you to number 4.
Huh?
I'll go there, Judge. We just made the changes. I just got a call from someone, but I'll explain it to him.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. You can have a seat right there. I'll be right with you. Nifa Carrillo?
Yes, Your Honor. I was in the breakout room waiting for a district attorney.
All right, could someone from family violence go to breakout room number 7 and speak with Ms. Carrillo, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure, and the court is going to take a 3-minute break. Everyone, just give me a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could I have a breakout room with my client, Mr. Baker?
Yes, I'll send you there now.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Baker, I'm going to send you to a breakout.
Yes, ma'am.
Michael, I'm sorry, Hunter, did you get my document? Did you get the signed copy of the plea?
So Chris
Hey.
Newman may have received it. Let me reach out to him. He sent them.
I don't know why I just signed up for Adobe Read or something. I thought I'd already signed. I just want to get the damn thing signed.
I understand.
My God, it's been a half hour.
So, Mr. Zimmerman,
Yes.
it sounds like Chris got it
You're
back.
welcome.
Did he get it back?
He has it.
But it
Did it
did
get-
not give me any indication that it had been sent. I signed it, but there's no indication that it had been sent.
Okay. Let
Not at
me
least,
assign you to a breakout with your client because he may be getting that in his inbox at the jail now.
okay, all right, good.
Yeah, everyone put some patience in your pocket. It's gonna be good. It'll be fine.
Okay, you're still assigned to the same room with
Thank
him.
you, Judge. That actually made me smile because I was getting fairly irate.
Oh, no.
You're
I mean,
assigned to
once
the same
you
breakout.
get upset and angry, people start making mistakes. So
Yeah, I
we
agree.
will get her done today.
So
Okay,
true.
we'll get this done. All right, okay. So
Thank you.
I will go to the breakout room with my client, Judge, and go over the
Yes.
document with him. Okay,
Yes, he's in number 3.
okay.
Everyone, sorry about the break. I had an attorney in the office. Kelly Green.
Yes, Your Honor. We reached an agreement with the state. Roberto Villarreal, he's in custody. We're ready for a plea.
All right, if you will then do the paperwork, the state should be sending the paperwork to you and to your client.
Yeah, Your Honor, I have 5 Zoom hearings this morning and 2 doctor's appointments this afternoon. Could we possibly do it either Thursday or Friday?
I would love to do that, Ms. Green. However, the jail is low staffed and it's best if we get it done today so that they won't have to bring your client back again because believe it or not, it's very difficult for us to get all the inmates here.
Okay.
Yes. So as soon
Okay.
as you get the paperwork done, the court will take care of it.
So do I let Hunter know to do the paperwork and send it to me?
Yes, I just told Hunter. Hunter, if you could get the paperwork done for Ms. Green, her client is accepting the plea. And Hunter, if you could put it in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson what the agreement is so she can get the appropriate paperwork.
Will do, Judge.
All right, thank you. You're welcome. All right, Ms. Green, your client is Villarreal.
Villarreal.
I'm going to send you back to number 5 so you can go over the paperwork.
All right.
And to the clerks, could I see the file on Leo Hernandez, please? And Norma, do you have an update on Eric DeWalt?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes.
All right, I just talked to my client, Mr. Baker, and I've talked to the state. Apparently, there's some more discovery that has not been uploaded so that I can obtain. I have talked to my client and relayed that information to him. So we don't have really they don't have enough, the state, to form an offer just yet. but I still have to talk it over with my client, so, and show him what we have, so if we can have a reset on this.
Yes. Norma, can you give me a 30-day reset on Anthony Baker, please? If
That
you
would
can
be
put it in
fine,
the chat
Susan.
box, please.
I'm sure we'll have everything by then.
All right. Mr. Baker, could you unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Baker, I'd like for everyone to have all the information so they can make informed decisions. Your case is going to come back on November 2nd. Do you understand?
I do understand. I will be losing my living situation. I have my own house. I'm a single man. So yeah, this will put me in a high risk of becoming homeless in a way. I do have family here, but I guess there is nothing much I could do about that. But yeah, I do understand. It just puts me at risk for losing my assets in the world.
Yes. All right, that'll be something that you'll need to speak with your attorney about. But what I can tell you is this court, your attorney needs more information from the state. As soon as she has that information, I'm sure she'll be ready to proceed. And Ms. Carrillo, if you have the information before November 2nd, and state if you're ready to proceed before November 2nd, just let the court know and let Ms. Ferguson know, and I'm sure she will move you up.
Yes, Your Honor, one of the issues is that Mr. Baker has some misdemeanors that also an assault misdemeanor. And so I need to talk to that court, have myself on appointed so I can take care of it. Those are the cases he does not have a bond on.
Okay. All right, then that's an issue for misdemeanor court, Mr. Baker. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand. So there's a chance to get right now we're at November 2nd, but there's a chance to get this bumped up if possible, if she's able to corral all my information and also get appointed to my case.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, I'm just in fear of not having a settled home when I get out of here. So that's my fear basically. But okay, yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, and then our court is open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, except on holidays.
Yes, ma'am.
So Ms. Carrillo knows how to get in touch with the court coordinator to put this on the docket sooner if that's what you require. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Carrillo. Have a great rest of your day. Mr. Baker, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you as well.
Thank you. Norma, you can let them know Baker L3 can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Judge, I sent you an email.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Miss Norma,
Yes, sir.
can you send me Kelly Green's email?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Norma, Mr. Zimmerman, did you finish your paperwork?
No, it is asking Mr. Hernandez to download Adobe Reader from his site as well too.
Okay, I don't know what happened with that.
I'm not sure either.
So Judge, I think what happened is Chris was helping me out and we had to set up the signature a little bit different than our typical plea paperwork. So if this court would prefer, I can send a full plea packet and we can just disregard all the pages other than the plea bargain sheet, or we could just do it orally.
No, it'll need to be in writing.
Okay.
So if it's easier to send the entire affidavit of admonishments, and then Mr. Zimmer will just go with the last page of that, then the court can do that.
Okay.
But I
have no
would
problem
think
doing
that the jail would be able to do that.
I don't know why it did what I did, what it required of me. It took I downloaded several
All right.
things.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Zimmerman, go back to breakout room number 3. And Ms. Ferguson, can you go to breakout room number 3 and have a deputy come to that room, please?
Judge, did you want me to call the jail and see what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, did I miss anyone else? on the docket? I don't think I did, right?
Well, Norma, on Amethyst Garcia, that was for a pretrial diversion.
Okay,
So unless that's changed, then the question is whether or not she's fulfilled the commitment on that.
okay. Well, I set it for, I'm gonna put the date that I set it for in the chat.
Okay.
Norma, the paperwork will be on its way shortly. She's finally signed everything.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. DeWiggins, on your case, I have not received anything on my end. As soon as I receive it, I will sign it.
Okay. They're having to scan the papers in one by one at the hospital.
Ah. They're trying to make, Brenda, they're trying to make today a Monday, but we're going to keep smiling and it's going to remain a Tuesday. Mr. DeWiggins, thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge.
Yes.
I have submitted the full packet on Michael Hernandez. I left the judicial admission blank intentionally.
Okay.
There are no attached stipulations.
All right.
Okay. And then Kelly Green's paperwork is sent to her also.
Okay, awesome. Okay, everyone, as soon as the court receives paperwork, we will go forward. However, we will be taking our break at 12:30. All right, Mr. Zimmerman, so all paperwork has been signed?
Whoops, I'm sorry. Yes, Judge, and I do want to apologize for letting my frustration boil over. Sorry, Judge.
That's why I tell people you got to put patience in your pocket.
Actually, I need to put it right directly in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
Pull it out and put it right in front of my eyes.
Permission to wear cargo pants, Judge.
Go ahead.
All right, Your Honor, it's Kelly Green. I believe we're ready on a plea for Roberto Villarreal.
Your client needs to be sworn in.
Yes, you just completed the paperwork.
Need to go to breakout room number 1.
All right.
And Mr. Villarreal, you need to go to breakout room number 1.
Hernandez?
All right, we're ready to proceed on Mr. Hernandez.
Your Honor, Hunter just stepped out, but he'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay, no problem.
I mean, I could stand in if it's an agreement.
Yes, it's an agreement.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, I need you to unmute yourself. Just press the key. Just press the space bar, Mr. Hernandez.
I see it. Okay. Okay, I see. I'm sorry.
No problem. Court is calling 2019 CR 13789, State of Texas versus Michael Stephen Hernandez. I have parties announced for the record for the state.
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense.
Ron Zimmerman for the defense.
And are you Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. It's the court's understanding that a plea bargain agreement has been reached as to punishment. Is that correct, defense?
That's correct, Judge.
And standing in for the state is ADA J. Hunter Morris. Mr. Morris, it's the court's understanding that an agreement has been reached in this case. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
Mr. Michael Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
You were found guilty by a jury of this offense. Did you have a chance to speak with your attorney and confer with your attorney on waiving your right to appeal the guilt innocence portion of your trial?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And are you waiving your right to appeal the guilt innocence portion of your trial?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And you've reached a plea bargain agreement with the state, is that correct?
That is correct.
Defense, is your client waiving the right to appeal the guilt innocence of his jury trial?
Yes, Judge.
And do you believe that your client is currently competent,
Yes, I believe so, Judge.
and do you believe he understands the consequences of waiving? Has Hunter fallen? He's fallen off the screen, I think. Do you believe your client understands the consequences of waiving any appeals that he may have as it relates to the guilt innocence portion of his trial?
Yes, Judge, we went over that extensively.
Right. Then, Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. The state has agreed with punishment of 12 months in the state jail facility. And they will take in consideration CM number 57087. Did you understand that as the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Judge.
Did you understand that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also understand you're waiving your right to appeal any issues that may have occurred or been raised during your jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
State, have there been any such motions?
The state moves to admit evidence from guilt innocence into evidence for purposes of punishment, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
And defense, have there been any such motions?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
All right. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments which have already been entered during your jury trial. Do you understand, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
So do you understand, in considering your punishment today and whether or not I will follow the agreement that has been reached, the court will consider all of the evidence that was presented during your jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And because a plea bargain agreement has been reached with this state, you understand that all of the evidence at your jury trial is now being presented also for this hearing.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right. Then the court will follow your plea bargain agreement that you've reached. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration CM number 57087. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and just so the record is clear, the jury found Mr. Hernandez guilty. The court entered a finding of guilt at jury trial, and the court is also entering the finding of guilt for this plea bargain agreement that has been reached. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
I
did
did.
you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Hernandez, good luck to you. Mr. Hernandez,
Yes, ma'am.
here's my advice to you. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. And if you are given permission to enter any type of location and somebody asks you to leave, you need to leave. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
54.
All right, so I can say this because I'm in the same age category as you are. You're getting to the point where more of your life is behind you than in front of you. If you don't watch out, you're going to find yourself spending a majority of your life in prisons and in jails. You understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, so change your ways. Good luck to you, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Norma, you can let them know that L2 can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Judge. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All righty.
Okay, and Mr. DeWiggins, I'm so sorry. We're just waiting for your paperwork.
Yeah, it would appear so.
Yeah. Norma, do you have an update for Mr. DeWiggins?
No, ma'am. I don't have anything. I don't know where they were sending it to, Judge, but I've been looking at my email.
All right, Mr. DeWiggins, if you go back to breakout room number 4, I'm going to go to breakout room number 4 with you.
So I can join y'all in there to say where it is on our side.
All right, thank you. Brenna, are you okay to do these last two, please, especially the person who's in the hospital?
Yes, that's fine.
I know we break at 12:30, but
Are these the last two things for the day, Judge?
okay, Hunter, that's wishful thinking on your part. I appreciate it, but the answer to that question is no. All right, and can you put together the medical? All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4, Lupe, because that's where they are. You're welcome. Where's Kelly Green?
I'm present, Judge.
Okay, and who's the prosecutor on this case?
It's Hunter.
Court is calling 2021 CR 1790, State of Texas versus Roberto Villarreal. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Kelly Green.
And are you Roberto Villarreal?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
None, no, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Ms. Green, have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villarreal, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Proceeding on count 1, waiving the state jail repeater enhancement, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection. No objection.
Mr. Villarreal, I'm going to
Yes,
show you
ma'am.
what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
State is proceeding on theft under $2,500 enhanced as a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Mr. Villarreal, did you
Yes, ma'am.
intend to give up those rights and
Oh,
enter
yes, ma'am,
into
I
a
did.
plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Villarreal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain agreement. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1, waiving the repeat enhancement in allegations. They're asking that your punishment be assessed to 8 months in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. There's a $0 fine and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I sure did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to count one in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
It offers states one and attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
No, no
Mr.
objection.
Villarreal, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, just that we'd ask the court to follow the plea bargain.
All right, the court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 8 months in the Bexar County Jail under 1244 of the Penal Code. Give you credit for any time served.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you are not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Villarreal, how old are you?
I am 41.
All right, Mr. Villarreal, your record is littered with theft cases. You gotta stop stealing. Here's the
I am.
rule.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, people say that every time, but you
No, but I'm
get in and
serious.
out. You're
I'm
serious this time.
I am. I'm gonna put a tattoo. Thou shalt not steal. I promise you. It's
All
gonna
right.
work. I promise you, it's gonna work.
I
got
mean, if you need
kids.
to if you need to tattoo that on your body in order to remember it, great.
Shoot, there it is.
But here's the thing. You're gonna find yourself spending the rest of your life in and out of prisons if you do not change. You're gonna wake up and find a majority of your life is behind you and not in front of you. Here's the rule. I'm gonna give you a crash course, a crash theft course.
Okay.
If it doesn't belong to you, don't take it. If you didn't pay for it, don't take it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, 14M can go back. All right, Brenna, what I hear happening outside is I hear somebody being sworn in. And I know, guys, we're going past 12:30, but she's in the hospital, so I'm trying to make sure we coordinate that to get that done. But I will tell you, everyone in this courtroom has pulled out the patience in their pocket. I think that's the reason, Brenna, is that the reason why you're wearing a jacket today? Because you knew you were going to need extra helpings of patience.
Yeah, I only got 2 pockets though today.
Oh my God. Okay, I have no pockets. I'm just relying on the patience in my purse. So if anyone needs some, I will pull it out. So I tell you what, I'm gonna go into this breakout room and just find out where they are in this paperwork. I know it's been printed out. We do have all the paperwork. So who is the person who is on Margaret Garza? Is it Margaret Garza? I'm sorry, Regina Martinez. Who is the person on Regina Martinez?
I'm on Regina, Judge. I just,
All right, because I still have a Margaret Garza here in the box. Everyone, just give me a moment. All righty. Okay, DeWiggins, your client is still in the breakout room.
She's not allowed to touch the computer, so the whatever it is over there has to put her in the break in the. Let me go back.
Oh, no, don't leave.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She's back. She's here.
Thank you. Okay, and if you could unmute, please. All right, and I will just say before we head to the record, Brennan, see if everyone has patience in your pocket, and even if you don't have any more patience in your pocket, if you just smile, it makes it a great day. Somebody told me that you can't smile and say angry words because then it just looks silly, you know? So everyone just keep a smile on your face. Mr. DeWiggins, Ms. Martinez, Meredith, and everyone here, thank you so much for your patience. And Brenna, thank you for continuing to be here, even though the promise was made that we would always be off by 12:30. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 9351, State of Texas versus Regina Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
James DeWiggins for the defense.
And are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did.
Showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case? And did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you, I'm sorry, State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes. I wasn't sure who you're, sorry.
No problem. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
Ms. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine probated. State recommends community supervision. There's no application for deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Roxana Izaguirre, Yzaguirre, Wesley, Westley, Everett, Everett, Bethany Doyle, Doyle, and Jose Izaguirre, intensive outpatient treatment and regular UAs. Did you understand that those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Ms. Martinez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Ms. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Not at this time.
All right, Ms. Martinez, do you have any children?
No, no, Your Honor, I don't.
When's the last time you had employment?
I am employed.
Doing what?
I run my own business off of Rover.com. I do dog boarding, dog kennelling, and dog grooming.
Okay. When's the last time you used?
The last time I used was the day that the bounty hunters came to get me. So the day I got arrested.
Okay. How often did you use?
Every day.
When did you start using? The first time you used?
The first time I started was about 20 years ago.
How old were you then?
I was roughly around 24.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
I only went up to 7th grade, but I did get my GED.
Why did you drop out?
I just started on the wrong path. Took myself out of school.
Okay, I do not understand people in 7th grade just saying, I'm taking myself out of school. Was Child Protective Services involved in your life? What did your parents say when you decided I'm not doing school anymore?
CPS should have been involved in my life, but no, they were not. My parents just agreed to take me out because they did not want to be arrested for my truancy. So they took me out and they decided to try and do homeschool with me, which I never did.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court will sentence you to 2 years in a state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years, $1,000 fine, probated, restitution to SAPD for drug testing, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 hours of that will be deducted if you obtain the COVID vaccine. I'm not forcing anyone to get the vaccine, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. The remaining hours will be deducted if you obtain some higher level of education or if you obtain some certificate from some trade school. I'm trying to help you improve your life, okay?
Appreciate it.
There's to be no contact with Roxana Izagiri, Wesley Everett, Bethany Dahl, and Jose Izagiri. I know felony drug court has a wait list, but see if you can talk to felony drug court, Rebecca, because she really needs felony drug court. It's a very good program, Ms. Martinez. And I know, and I think you know, if you look deep inside, the only reason why you're not using it is because you're in the hospital.
Exactly.
So we're going to do a felony drug court and let them know she's in the hospital. If she's not approved for felony drug court, then it's going to be SATA. And this is to take place while in custody. I'm going to do my best I can to get you in felony drug court, Ms. Martinez, but you've got to be completely honest with them. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be what, Judge? I didn't understand you.
Felony drug court.
And if not that?
SATA.
SATA.
Because if you're not in some type of inpatient program, you're not going to be successful. And you're going to wake up years from now still using a lot of drugs. I'm going to do weekly Zoom reporting. Well, she's currently in custody. Is that correct, Rebecca?
Yes.
All right. So once released from custody, so upon release, I'm going to want weekly Zoom reporting or in person until further notice. The UA hotline and random field visits 3 times per month. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you need from me, Ms. Martinez, in order to be successful?
No, I know I had spoken to my caseworker here, my social worker, caseworker, as going into an outpatient treatment. I'm not quite understanding exactly what's gonna happen. So
Well, what's going to happen is you're under the jurisdiction of the 187 District Court. So the treatment that you're going to be getting is either felony drug court or either it's going to be SATA. Now, if there's some other inpatient treatment that Mr. DeWiggins wants me to consider, the courtroom is always open from 9 to 5, Mondays through Fridays. Mr. DeWiggins knows how to file a motion and get it on the docket, okay? All right, but you're going to remain in custody. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judge, I would ask that you allow her to be released while she's waiting for a decision on drug court. There's some financial things that are going to take place, and she stands to lose a lot of benefits if she is in jail, and that is one of the main reasons she took this bargain. I do not think she's a flight risk. She has only one home, no place else to go, and I don't think it would detriment.
Mr. DeWiggins, I think she's a risk of not appearing for court because she was remanded without a bond because she didn't appear. And I think the other risk and the court's concern is she's a daily heroin user. So I'm weighing the factor of her financials as opposed to Ms. Martinez. People who sell heroin, they're not chemists, they're not physicists, their drug is not FDA approved. You don't know what you're going to get. So I'm weighing the factor of, yes, you may lose some finances, but then I'm weighing the factor of your life on the other end. As my mother and grandmother always said, and this is true, if you have a problem that money can't solve, then you have a problem. And right now, what can't be solved for you by finances is your addiction. The whole thing about you may lose an apartment or may lose property, I understand, I sympathize with you because I know how difficult it is to obtain what you have. I know what it is to struggle financially. I know what it is to work hard for something and then potentially lose it. But you could lose your life on the other hand. So that's why I can't let you be released because I already know what's going to happen. What's going to end up happening is you're going to get released. Your intentions are well. You're going to want to stay clean and sober. But the first person you're going to find is somebody who will give you heroin. And what's going to end up happening is you may take a bad batch and end up dying. Or either take a batch and continue on that road. And when you continue on that road, you're not going to report for probation. We're going to be right back here. And this time you're going to be asking for mercy, asking that I continue on treat, that I continue on probation and that you get drug treatment. So the answer to that is going to be no. All right, with that, we're going to close the record. I'm going to send you to a breakout room, and to everyone else, usually we break at 12:30, we did not. So we'll be coming back at 2:30. So that will give everyone a chance to have their lunch. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1, and probation will meet you in number 1. And I hope you understand, Ms. Martinez, the court is not trying to punish you. The court is trying to get you the help that you've asked for. So, Norma, could you have the person in the room tell them Ms. Martinez needs to go to breakout room number 1